I'm Doug.
And I'm Cathy.
And this is Maggie Mae. Join us as we follow the moon. Today, we're staying at Colorado Heights RV Park in Monument, Colorado. Great location, close to everything. And we want to show you around this park and show you the good and the not so good. So stick around.
Thanks.
Now over beside us, you'll see Interstate 25 heading north. We're actually on kind of like a frontage road. It's called Monument. And this actually goes from the little town of Monument. We're going back to the north here just a bit. This is a map of the park, and as you can see, it's a good sized park. It's got some water there in the middle and camping on both sides.
It's not quite high desert, but it's kind of dry up here.
Yeah, and there are a good many trees in parts of the park. The area where we were camped, there were nice trees and nice shade.
And pine cones.
Now we actually stayed here the very end of July into the early part of August. And if you see some Christmas decorations up, they were doing a Christmas in July while we were here.
I think that it was, the whole area was. It wasn't just this place. Because we saw them all over.
Now this is the Tree of Shame. Watch it when you come in. I'm not really sure why that tree's allowed to be there, as much bark has been scraped off the side, which tells me what the campers look like. It is very tight throughout most of this park. Part of the roads are paved, part of them are sand and dirt kind of. We're going to take you over here to, as the map showed, the right-hand side of the park first. And there are amenities spread throughout the park. This area here, you can see we're on pavement. And just past this dumpster, we're going to make a right-hand turn. And this is actually a road. So
you do get the feeling you're in like the woods.
Mm-hmm. Now this is the rec hall and game room. And it does have shuffleboard outside, as well as ping pong, billiards, all kinds of things you can do on the inside. Just past that, on our right, is the playground. And it is a really nice little playground. Now most of these sites you can see, I would call them more rustic.
Yes.
They're not paved sites. They're not all 100% level, but the level's not too bad. They do have propane available, that you can have your propane topped off. And you'll notice here as you go through the park, some are pointed one way, some are pointed another. That will kind of play into the story as we go along. Now here you'll see the back side of this building, and that's one of two laundries. This one had 3 washers, 3 dryers.
Those look like good-sized dryers.
Yeah, they were. And as you come around the building here, we're going to make a sharp left to bring you back around the front of it. This is their clubhouse. And the clubhouse was really cute on the inside. It had a little kitchenette and then nice little space back there for gatherings.
It's nice and open too.
Mm-hmm. I did look around at some of these larger coaches that are in here and really kind of wonder how they got into some of these spaces. There are a lot of trees close to the road. The roads are narrow. Some of the spaces are kind of tight. There's a volleyball net as you're approaching back here to the front of the park. You'll see the office straight ahead of us. On the right, this is called the Adult Game Building, Adult Lounge. And right behind it is the pool.
Oh, that's a pretty pool too.
It's a gorgeous pool, and I didn't get a real close-up because the pool was very busy every time we went by it. There's that little dump station there at the front. And we're going to come back here again, but before we come back through the entrance, the lake here is really, really beautiful. They've got a couple places where you can walk out onto it. Around the lake is their miniature golf course, and the miniature golf course is kind of hard to show you because it's all set on the hillside in the woods. We're going to walk up here through the first hole, and you can see off to our right it goes on up to the second hole, and as we look on down through the woods, you'll see a few more of them that are coming back at the end of the golf course.
It was actually kind of cute.
It really was.
Now, there were a lot of trails around that lake too.
There's our tree of shame again. And for as beat up as that tree was, when you come up through this area, the one right there on the left and right there on the right have got some pretty good battle scars also. Same here. So just be careful, because when you come into the park, you do come through that road. Now we're going to go over to the left-hand side of the park. The park is hilly. It does move up and down.
Good exercise.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, just past this little building here on the right is something I've never seen done before, and it's kind of a neat idea. They've put in a little hot tub enclosure, not near the swimming pool, kind of off by itself. I can actually say I never saw anybody use it the whole time, but it was running.
Place was busy.
Yes, it was. Now, as you come over into the side that's on the far left of the map, just past the dumpster over here on the right, you'll see the sign for the nature trail.
Also known as
the doggy walk.
Yes.
They do not want you walking dogs around the campsites. It's even in the rules that you're not allowed to allow your pet to urinate. So we kind of stayed to that area with Maggie. As you climb the hill, this is the area furthest to the left side of the map, and it is 3 rows that are all 50 amp sites, and it's just kind of plain and wide open. There's no grass, no trees in that side. But if you've got a larger rig, it's not a bad place to be.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about wiggling between trees.
Yes, once you're in there and before you leave. Now, over here on the right, before we go back into the park, are a couple of the park mascots, we'll call them.
Yes.
And one I'd love to have shown you and couldn't. They've got a turkey, they've got a couple of goats, they've got a huge pig that lives in there that wasn't out at the time. But those goats are allowed to free range in the mornings.
They're keeping the grass all down.
Yeah.
Look at how fat they are.
Yep. And we're going to come back just a short ways. We're going to stop at our site. Now, the site that we're in is a 30 amp site, and it's a very unusual sight.
With a view.
Yeah. We were brought in and escorted to the site just beside this one. And our site was site 46.
We backed in.
And the person that escorted us in showed us where the hookups were and had us back in the space that you're looking at now. We got a knock on the door the next morning saying that we were in the wrong space. It was a pull forward site and not a back end site, and we were to have been in the side beside it. So we had to move, even though for almost a week nobody else was in that site. And this was our view. This was our campsite here. And our view was of the bathhouse. The bathhouse was also a bit unusual. It had one toilet as you walked in the door with 2 shower curtains around it, and the ladies was the same way.
Yeah, it was very
And then
odd.
one stall.
That did have a door.
Yes. And then the building also had 2 separate showers. And they were, I think your word was claustrophobic.
Yeah, they were pretty tight.
They were tiny. So there was the men's room, the ladies' room, and 2 showers in this building. Going around behind that bathhouse, there's horseshoes. And then this area that they call the amphitheater, full of tables.
And used a bit.
Yes. And they still had their Christmas in July decorations up. And that's where they do their breakfasts. Well, Cathy, what did you like about our stay at Colorado Heights RV Park?
Well, I really like the little hiking trails. Actually, Maggie liked them too, around the little lake. And I like that we are in a more mountainous kind of feel. I do definitely get the feel of a camping feel here.
Definitely. And it's a rustic park. Some of the roads are dirt. I won't even say gravel. The sites are dirt. So be prepared. It's going to take a little bit more cleanup. Just be used to that, and if that doesn't bother you, it's great. My biggest problem with it was management, or the lack thereof. When we are escorted to our site and we are told to go into the wrong site, the wrong direction, and the next morning get a knock on the door saying, you got to move this because we've got people coming in, it's a busy weekend, and then neither site beside us in almost a week's time has had a soul in it. So the other thing was just the position of our site. This is a pull-in site. It gives you a beautiful view of the bathrooms, and we were greeted at 8:30 in the morning with Christmas carols playing on Saturday morning for Christmas in July, and we were also greeted Sunday morning at 8:30 in the morning with real loud country music playing for their pancake breakfast. So
I think the Christmas theme wasn't just exclusive to the park, though. Going around the town and all, Christmas in July, I think, is pretty well celebrated around here.
So quiet, restful, relaxing, peaceful, more in the middle of the week. If you're looking for that, the weekend's probably not the time to check it out. Would you come back?
I think I would, unless we find, I think there's a lot of other campgrounds around too, but yeah.
I think I would try one of the other ones next time. So for what it's worth, if you enjoyed the video today, leave us a thumbs up. We appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed, watch for the button up in this corner. If you tap that, you can ring the notification bell. You'll know when every one of our videos come out.
And thank you for following us as we follow the moon.